But, I gotta feed this your cat. Don't look at me like that. I'm sorry. This is the circle of life, Pally. You die, so I get to live. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir David, and today I'd like to play some more of Do Not Take This Cat Home. This title screen and music is deceptively cute. Part 1, I played this game for the first time with the aid of my beloved, sweet, darling live-action husband. But today I'm going to be playing it alone. Okay, so in the last ending, we did not take the cat home, and we went to the movies, so I think I want to try, going to the movies, but going to the bigger theater before I take the kitty home. So do not take the cat home. Leave the cat. I'll be nicer to the cat later. Aww. And then ignore the cat. Alright, so going to the dog park did not turn out well. Let's go to a movie. And let's go to the new cinema instead of the old cinema. You don't know why, but you don't really feel great about the idea of being alone right now. I don't feel great about not having my beloved darling husband right here. But that's okay. I can play this scary cat game all on my own. Deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or... Daisy! Hi, baby. Want to play the cat game with me? Deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming, you join the long line outside the new cinema. By the time you've reached the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. Oh man, to pick a movie at random. The decor is chic and sleek, and the inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into. But it's kind of nice not being alone. Even if you feel a little lonely watching families and groups of friends laughing among themselves. You'd get some popcorn, but the lines at the concession stands are long, and the prices are criminal anyway. You go through the halls and follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. Ooh. Is this after or before COVID? You head towards a seat only to be told by the person next to it that it's being saved for someone. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat annoyingly off-center to the screen. But the screen is at least visible, if not a little too close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials, and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins. But it doesn't get even slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Ah! Suddenly, the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. Well, I guess I picked an appropriate movie. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. Hey, that's exactly what the creepy Tumblr man in the last video said. That was kind of cute, though. The sound is strange, and not at all like any cat should sound. haunting, almost melodic, and layered as if made of multiple voices of different creatures. Creatures that would probably never say. Huh. Well, that sure is a thing. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the cinema staff. What? It's just a weird movie about cats. But then, you hear it. It's scattered and dissonant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chant along with the cat on the screen. What? It's just everyone has that echolalia thing, you hear something and then you just gotta repeat it. People! Next thing you know, everyone's gonna be putting their arms up and going, Emotep! Emotep! Newest hit song on Spotify, nya 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 ah ah ah. Soon, the entire room is chanting in perfect unison, everyone staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself. I mean, I feel like chanting too, it's pretty addictive. But the strong compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong. For now. Also, you start to notice, out of the corner of your eye, that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. Like, hey, look at that person over there. They're not going, nya, nya, nya. You watch your buns. I didn't get a nya out of that guy. No. They're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They're like, hey, that person over there. They don't like cats. They left a cat in a box in the rain. Ooh. Oh. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. Hey! Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Nya, okay? I don't even have scopophobia, but oh boy, this is getting there. I might have to put a scopophobia warning in this part. Try to blend in with the crowd. Just everyone's looking at me and I go, yeah, you, totally not me. I just look at someone else. Try to leave the theater. Try to blend in with the crowd. Nya. Nya, see? Nya. Yeah. Nya. Nya. Nya, nya. Meow, meow. Meow. Meow, meow. Thinking fast, you look to the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. Nya. 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 Ah. Ah. Ah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nya. 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 Ah. 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 You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away, and the air in the theater becoming lighter once again. Nya. Nya. Ah. 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 This is like going to a Hatsune Miku concert and not having your glowy sticks. You release air shakily, just realizing that you'd been holding your breath earlier. You feel stuck. Surely you can't just get up and leave now. Not after whatever all that was. I definitely want to go back and try leaving. The people around you all seem fine now. I don't like that these sentences are really, really short. Because this game, you could do that thing where it auto-scrolls and then something jumps out at you. But there's no telling if they'd get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along. Right? 2 days later. Yeah. Or at least turn the film off. You continue to chat along with everyone. Yeah. 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 If this keeps up, I'm gonna sprout some cat ears again. You start to feel lightheaded. Worst movie ever. You feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state. But you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. I mean, that is pretty cute. Meow. 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 You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to. But your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely loosening itself again, making you lay back limply into your seat. You think you should be panicking right about now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts, a vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet and loosely spun, like cotton candy. Are you literally turning my brain to mush? You like cotton candy. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either. So, why get up and ruin that? Who? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. With all this pink gas and these intrusive thoughts, is Michael from Mushroom Oasis here? Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room full of complete strangers. You're not alone. I mean, this is just how I used to feel when I went to anime conventions. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. Then they sink more. Then more. Not like slouching or reclining, but more like they're melting? Deflating. Oh. The eyeball came out and that made me scared. Their skin bunches up and wrinkles like fabric, as if their muscles, their bones, have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. I don't like that. their mouth still attempting to chant, falls open after a cut-off of nya. Gaping as the word ends in an awful hiss, a final, weak release of air. Husband? Help! You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump. Move it around! Did they turn into a cat? You watch in dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and out from the mouth. Oh! Pourquoi? ¿Por qué? Why? Is this how you reproduce? Does that mean there's gonna be kitties in everyone? Is there a kitty inside me? Daisy! Help! Crawls a tiny black kitten. Nya. 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 My prediction is that something bad is gonna happen to me mid-nya. Oh dear! You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now as the unified chants start to fade. Oh, how terrifying! Only to be replaced with the faint mewling of kittens. Who's gonna feed all these kittens? Who's got the milk? Who's got the mama milk to feed all these kittens? Finally, your voice is the only one still chanting, still human, and alone. Again. You don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. Just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, but it might as well weigh several tons. Because you realize, quite suddenly, that you can't move. Not an inch. Am I going to get my own body, kitten? You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe. But somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. Nya. 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 Oh! Ah! A few kittens come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, mewling as they wait for their youngest sibling to emerge from you. Wait! Technically, did that cat on the screen impregnate everybody? You better have enough milk for all these babies. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you. And as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat perching on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades. And as that same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth, the last thing you sense is something small and alive, shifting eagerly under your skin. Ending 18. Happy birthday! Oh, that's terrifying. Did you impregnate me with kittens? You? I just thought of something else. I wonder if they're going to do the thing where the title screen changes depending on certain endings you get, because it hasn't done it yet. But I'm expecting it to. Alright, what if I try to leave the theater? Screw you guys, I'm going home. This is too weird. I need to get out of here. I don't feel like paying kitten child support. Gathering your courage, or perhaps putting your fear to use, you stand up, fully intending to leave the theater. When everything comes to an abrupt stop! Why is stop in all letters, in all caps like that? All of the chanting stops, even the cats chanting on the screen. Hey, don't stop on my account, fellas. You have your fun. You tense and risk a glance around the theater. They're all staring at you. Every single one of them. They're not moving. They're not even blinking. You swallow, throat suddenly dry, even though a nervous sweat completely soaks through your clothes. You highly doubt that sitting back down will fix the situation. Look, guys, I just don't want a kitten coming at me. That's all. Your legs are shaking under the audience's unnaturally intense scrutiny. But you force yourself to step forward, and forward, and forward, until you reach the end of the aisle. You feel their collective gaze even worse on the staircase. All of their heads have turned uncomfortably to the left to look directly at you. The screen illuminates their faces, making clear their blank scowls. They seem even more upset than they had been minutes ago. Identical frown lines digging between their brows. At this point, I would probably mock them like, "You mad, bros? You mad? Why you mad, though? Enjoy your movie." What's up, fellas? Buds? Guys? Gender neutrals? You keep going, the heavy atmosphere becoming more and more oppressive with every step. You're so tense with anticipation that you fully expect someone to grab you from behind. Better not. You're gonna be going over my shoulder. Don't try it. I wish one of you would. I've got 30 years of pent-up rage ready to unleash it. I'll take you all on. You may bring me down, but I'm taking down at least 2 of you. But no one does. Cowards! You don't even hear any of them even get up. You exit the theater, holding your breath as the doors close behind you. Hey, can I get a refund for this whack movie? You briskly walk through the halls, putting as much distance as possible between you and that theater full of people. Finally reaching the lobby, you just barely manage to catch yourself from falling to the floor as you gulp in huge gasps of air. You expect to feel relief as your breathing calms, but you feel a lingering sense of dread that only spikes once you finally notice it, as well as its source. You look up, and your stomach sinks. What? What? What is it? What now? What are you gonna do? Oh. What? What? All the people in the lobby area of the movie theater. Everyone in line at the concession stand. All of them are staring at you. Which, want me to do a little dance or something? What? Do I amuse you? And they look even angrier than the people in the theater. Okay, this kitty definitely has some Nyarlathotep, Eldridge God powers around this city or something. What's going on here? You don't hesitate this time. You don't hesitate this time. You put up your dukes and punch everybody in the lobby. Just fist fighting around the world, everybody in the lobby. I'm not a violent person, I swear I'm not. You duck your head, avoiding eye contact, and leave the cinema. I mean, if y'all ain't gonna die... You ignore the glares of everyone in the ticket booths and the lines leading to them. You make your way home. If I get home and, like, the TV is staring at me disappointedly, like, the newscaster on the TV is like, how could you? Whenever you dare to look up at someone on the way, you flinch at the blatant anger, fury, and disgust on their face. You think you start to hear the faint sound of a cat's meowing behind you, or maybe a kitten's. Doesn't matter. You just want to go home. You reach your front door and fumble with the keys, cowering from the look of pure hatred on your neighbor's face as he stares at you from his door. Finally, you get inside your apartment, lock all the locks on the door, and slide down with your back against it till you're sitting on the floor. You allow yourself a moment to breathe. Now home, your heartbeat calms, and your fear slowly bleeds from you, leaving you feeling strangely empty. You pass the kitchen, head to your room, and slip under the covers of your bed, trying to fall asleep. Maybe it's all just a bad dream. As you fall into a fitful sleep, sure to be full of nightmares of glaring eyes, you try to ignore the ever-increasing sounds of cats meowing and yowling in the distance outside your apartment. Is everyone cats now? Ending 17. Black Sheep. Oh, that's where it ends? A mildly safe ending, I guess. Alright. What if I'm a little bit nicer to the kitty? What if I give the cat some food? You want some food? The cat must be hungry, right? You can't imagine that it's had much to eat if it's so attached to that box it's in. Though, it doesn't exactly seem malnourished either. Yeah, you're looking a little bit chubby, friend. Surely it must have left the box to search for food, then. For some reason, something in the back of your mind tells you that's not the case. And not to think on it any further. Are you trying to gaslight me, kitty? Well, either way, you can't exactly enjoy your day out knowing you left behind a hungry cat. Especially when you could have done something to help. So, what to do about the hungry kitty? Check pockets, look around the area, question mark, question mark, question mark. Why do I have the feeling that the question mark involves blood? What have I got in my pockets? You dig into your pockets. You find a small piece of string in your left pocket. Not very helpful. The string is far too short. An eager and excited cat leaping forward could easily lead to you getting bitten and scratched. In your right pocket is a bar of chocolate. Probably not. You find a chocolate bar. Is it? Nope, it's not even expired. Quite the find indeed. You're about to offer it to the cat. No. And suddenly you're hit with guilt as you remember something gut-curdling. Chocolate is toxic to cats. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am so... You resist the urge to vomit at your near mistake. I'm so sorry, little baby, even though you've been quite terrifying to me. You feel so guilty. You throw the chocolate bar away into a nearby trash bin. An almost cat killer doesn't deserve chocolate. You go back to the cat, barely able to stand its innocently oblivious expression. You can't eat the chocolate, kitty, you'll perish. It doesn't even know that you almost... I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say. You almost died, kitty, by my foolish hand. You're a horrible person. Hey! I tried. You know what? Stay there. I'll be right back. You stay there, precious. I'll be right back. You leave the alley and return with a whole fish you bought at a nearby grocery shop. There you go. It was a bit pricey, but it was the least you could do. Oh, have a big old fish, kitty. The cat eagerly accepts your offering, munching happily at the fish after you placed it in the box. Oh, you've been an absolute nightmare, but you're so cute. You want to smile at the sight, but you just feel so awful. Sorry, again. The cat seemingly pays you no mind as you slip back out of the alley. All right. Not feeling like you deserve a peaceful day out, you deserve to just head back home. Hey, I don't feel that guilty. In fact, I wouldn't have thrown that chocolate bar away. In fact, I wouldn't have offered it because I would have eaten it myself like, ooh, chocolate. Nom. Oh, right, I wanted to give the kitty some. What? What you want? Uh-oh. On the way home, you notice more cats than usual, watching you from their hiding spots. But you try not to think about it. Oh, no. You can't help but wonder if they know what you'd nearly done. But it's not like you meant to hurt anyone. No, they just heard that you're passing out free fish. Better get your fishing hat. Me. Right? I don't know if you can see it, but there's vaguely some cat eyes right there. Fellas, I'm not made of fish.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not made of fish. You finally reach your apartment building. You're about to unlock the door when... Babies, please. I don't got no more fish. I'm broke. Look, you get a line and I'll get a pole and we'll go fishing in Crocodile Hole. Buddy, pal of mine, I'll get you some fish. You look behind you, only to see dozens of cats standing there, looking at you. Did they see you feeding the cat in the alley and thought that you had more food for all of them? I'm sorry, I don't have any more food for you. None of them move an inch. You're starting to feel a little unnerved when finally a single cat pushes its way to the front and... Oh, hey, don't put that in your mouth, sweetness. You can get sick. Oh, it's you. It's held carefully between its teeth is the chocolate bar you'd thrown away earlier. Oh, it places the chocolate bar down in front of it before looking back up at you. All the cats look up at you. I can imagine some people with a fear of, like, cats, like an actual fear of cats, probably would despise this game. You can feel their judgment. What? It was an accident. 2, I said I'm sorry. And 3, I gave you an entire fish. Come on now. Call off your legion. You feel your sins weighing down heavily on your back. But without the money to buy enough food for all of them, you don't know what to do. For forgiveness or go inside? Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You collapse to your knees and bow down low as you start to earnestly beg for their forgiveness. I'm so sorry. I swear. I'd do anything to make it up to all of you, but you're out of options. The cats are all like, well, there's one option. You could give us the blood. Suddenly, hurt. You feel something stir in your stomach and swim its way up to your throat, closing off your airway as it tries to force its way out of your esophagus. What? Blarg? It finally succeeds with aid from your helpless gagging. What? Ah, what? What have I blurred? What the... Lying on the ground in front of you. What? 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 Is a flopping fish. New fear unlocked. You just threw up a living fish. What the holy heaven heck? The cats come rushing forward, all tearing hungrily at the fish. You're happy to finally be of help, truly. But how? Blarg! Oh. You throw up another fish. Blarg. And another. And another. Gonna have to put like a vomit warning on this, 'cause even I'm starting to get a little ill. Blarg. And your stomach hurts. What, have I got an aquarium in my belly or something? You're getting dizzy. You fall to your knees. Tears and snot are streaming down your face by the time you cough up a final, tiny, bloody fish and collapse forward. Throat and stomach both burn in a way that feels dangerous. Somebody get me a Tums! You start to fade out. Despite the pain, you strangely feel a more overwhelming sense of hopeful pride. That you've made up for your disgusting actions. Hey, I didn't... Whoever's controlling this Nyan Hotep or whoever, I tried to protect the kitty from the chocolate. I didn't do that on purpose. It was a mistake. That you've been forgiven. Eat it up. Eat it up. The sound of happy cats munching away at their fish fills your ears. Then... You feel something being nudged into your hand. It feels like... it's the bar of chocolate you'd found in your pocket. Ha. You smile weakly. You've successfully atoned, but you don't really have the strength to eat your reward. Sadly, the last taste in your mouth as you leave this mortal coil doesn't get to be that of chocolate. Is it at least salmon? But raw fish. Welp! Ending 4. Fishing for pardon. Fish. What's your problem? All right. What if I don't want forgiveness? What if I go inside? What if I'm like, see you guys? You decide to cut your losses and head inside. Your sins weigh down on you, but you're only human. What more can you do? Besides vomit fish, I guess. Jeez. You try to ignore the yowling of the neighborhood cats as you go about your chores. You consider preparing dinner. But how can you enjoy it, knowing how hungry those poor cats outside are? You're putting words in my mouth again. Aside from fish. The ones you've wronged. You decide to take a bath and go straight to bed without dinner. Quit it. I see what you're doing. You better stop. A fitting punishment for someone like you. Stop! You forgo the fancy bath bubbles because you don't deserve them and sink into the water with a sigh. Cat, are you like the narrator? Was this game made by a cat? Op is a cat. Do not trust the original poster. Your mind races, but you can't really think of any immediate solution that doesn't require more money. You wish there was something, anything you could do to make things right. Suddenly, your legs start to feel really itchy. You try to lift. Am I going to turn into a fish? Am I going to turn into a fish and they're going to break down the door and eat me? You try to lift one to see what's going on, but what rises out of the water isn't a pair of legs. I've turned into a mermaid! My dreams have come true! Oh no, I'm going to be eaten by cats! It's a fishtail. You feel dizzy at the sight. Maybe you're hallucinating from the stress. You try to climb out of the tub to cool your head, but instead of your hand rising up to brace itself... Uh-oh. A wet fin stretches out to plop on the rim. It's too weak to hold your weight, and you're so startled by the sight. That you slip and smack your head on the side of the bathtub, passing out almost immediately. Oh, I can see where this is going, and I don't like where this is going. You're awake. You think, anyway. You open your eyes, and you're underwater. You must have... Oh, no. So I actually did go back and read the warnings, and the one thing I don't like was on there. Thalassophobia. Hi there, Editor Espoir here. I'd just like to clarify that it's not actually thalassophobia that bothers me. Thalassophobia is a type of phobia characterized by a persistent and intense fear of deep water. I'm alright with the water. What I really have is megalohydrothalassophobia, which is a fear of large things underwater, such as whales, reefs, or shipwrecks. Alright, back to the terror. You know, the thing I refuse to show a picture of when I mention it because I don't want to look up. Oh please, no. This is my one fear. My one fear. I can deal with needles, I can deal with vomiting, I can deal with blood, I can even deal with eyes, but please, oh please, not things underwater. I hate that. Husband! Help! You must have slid beneath the surface of the bathwater. You gasp instinctively. If something big starts coming towards me, if a giant fish, please let me be eaten by a cat. Please let it be a cat and not a giant fish. Except, not really. Oh, I hate every second of this. I'm not playing it up for the video. I actually do despise large, usually mechanic, but also large things underwater. I hate that. That's my one biggest fear. I hate it. A bubble simply floats out of your mouth, up, up, up to the surface. You're broke as heck, so you know your bathtub isn't that big. Did you shrink? But how? Even if there were a reasonable answer, it wouldn't explain how you haven't drowned yet. You swim to the edge of the tub and see the truth in your shadow's silhouette. You've been turned into a fish. This isn't possible. Will this eldritch abomination cat stop messing with me? You don't get any time to ponder over this, unfortunately, because just then, please be a cat, please be a cat, please be a cat, please be a cat. A shadow looms over you from above. You look up and see the cat? Thank goodness, because if another fish comes down and tries to eat me, I will scream so loud and totally lose my marbles. It peers down at you from beyond the water's surface. Hey, buddy. And then you realize that you're on the menu, dude. Why did the bubble stop? This is the answer. This is how you're meant to atone. Okay. With a heavy heart, you swim up to the surface. All right. I'm okay with this. This is fine. This is lovely. This is a walk in the tulips compared to what I was worried about. The cat scoops you up, tossing you out of the tub and onto the bathroom tiles. As you flop around, gasping for air, or water, you realize the cat wasn't alone. Dozens of hungry eyes peer down at you. Well, unfortunately for you guys, there's only one of me, so eat it up! Eat it up! You hear the yowling of what sounds like hundreds of cats outside your bathroom window. You send one last look to the cat before closing your eyes and accepting your fate. Except you don't, because fish can't close their eyes and you just watch it happen. Alright, this is fine. As the cats descend upon you, tearing at your flesh, you find yourself mourning the fact that you're not even big enough to feed all of them. Even in the end, you couldn't properly atone. That's fine. Your efforts, your life, all of it, amounted to nothing. You're trying to get to me, but I'm so relieved that nothing big swam up to me in that water. I'm fine. I'm fine with everything now. Ending 25, Seafood Sacrifice. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. As long as you don't throw anything swimming towards me in that water. I'm good as gravy. Now what? Alright, so feeding the kitty, what if I look around the area? You glance around the dark, dingy alley. You only see garbage bags, trash bins, empty cardboard boxes, and scattered litter here and there. If there was something for the cat to eat, surely it would have found it by now, right? See if I can catch a rat for you or something. Actually, no, because that would mean I'd have to touch it. But you don't want to just give up so easily. You keep looking. You look and only see garbage. You sniff and only smell garbage. You listen. And you only hear garbage? Scritch, scritch. Am I gonna find a mouse and then I'm going to have to face like the Rat King or something? You just barely make out the sound of faint scurrying by a trash bin a few feet away. Quietly, oh so quietly, you creep over to the bin. And You lunge. I will catch my child some food. You weren't very graceful in your attempt. You stumbled and knocked over a stack of nearby boxes full of more trash. But as you stand up, grasped in your hand, oh, is a small mouse. You're gonna be somebody's dinner, little guy. Sorry. The mouse squeaks and shrieks in distress, wriggling and struggling desperately in your grip. You're holding it too tightly and carefully for it to be able to bite or scratch you, though. All right. It wears itself out eventually and looks up at you with black eyes. Aw, the poor little mousie. It's completely at your mercy. Spare the mouse? Feed the mouse to the cat. Listen, mousie. You're very cute. I like mice. I like rodents. Maybe not wild ones, but I am not a person who is afraid of mices. But, I gotta feed this your cat. Don't look at me like that. I'm sorry. This is the circle of life, Pally. You die, so I get to live. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. The mouse looks scared, as if it can sense your intentions. Come on. I need to sacrifice you to Cthulhu, or else he's gonna make everything blue and turn me into a fish. Come on now. You're being selfish. Weekly starts to struggle again. Oh, come on now. Stop. Stop and accept your sacrifice. Listen, buddy. The mouse is reluctant. I would imagine too. Hey, I got eaten in the last tempting. Feed the mouse to the cat. You feed the mouse to the cat. The cat tears it apart instantly. Sorry, buddy. Buddy, it's a circle of life. Come on now. You should be used to this. Sorry. Funny story, but when I was really little, like, couldn't have been 5, 6, or 7, I went to a pet store with my mom, and I saw the little white feeder mouse, like, in a tank all on their own, and I must have asked, like, why are the mice so small, or I asked something about the mouse, and the pet store owner told me, oh yeah, those are to feed to the snakes, and apparently, because my mom told me this story, I don't remember this happening, but I must have cried and screamed when I found out that those mice were bred just to be killed. So my mom, one of the little feeder mice for me, I think I named it Chewy because I've had like 3 or 4 Chewies at this point. Of course, since it's a feeder mouse, it didn't live for very long, but I love that little mouse. It was teeny tiny little mouse, but I started crying when I learned that they were going to be fed to the snakes. And I got a pet mouse for a few weeks, maybe days. I don't know. I was a wee baby. But yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for your sacrifice, Mousie. The mouse's pained squeaks and squeals pierce through you until they're abruptly cut off. Your sacrifice will not be in vain! Satisfied, the cat mews happily at you, red tinting its fangs. Does this sacrifice please you, O Cthulhu? The cat curls up in its now blood-stained box and goes to sleep. All right then, let's go about my merry way. You take the chance to leave. A well-fed cat will likely follow you home, after all. And cute as the cat is, you really can't afford a pet right now. Still feeling a little guilty about the mouse. I would feel guilty about the mouse. You decide to just go home. I mean, I would make a little eulogy for the mouse. I would make a little gravestone. I would honor the mouse's sacrifice. I wouldn't just forget about them, especially if they looked at me like that. Still thinking about that mouse? That mouse sure was cute. You know what you should do? You should go to the pet store and adopt a mouse in honor of the other mouse. After a long walk home, you finally entered your apartment. You head straight for your room and collapse on your bed, falling into a fitful sleep. And wake up next to the Rat King, who's like, "Why'd you do that?" Later, you wake up. Uh-oh. Oh, come on! To squeaking and scurrying noises all around you. Daisy! So loud and constant, they sound like screams. In the darkness of your room. Oh! You see the shifting shadows of hundreds of mice surrounding your bed. Well, this is expected. Oh! Totally didn't see this coming. You try to run. Ugh. Ah! But you cry out as twin lances of pain race up your legs. You fall off the bed in your attempt to escape. The hordes of mice dodging you as you crash to the ground. You can't stand up! Looking back and squinting in the dark, you just about make out the source of your pain. Ooh. The flesh and tendons of your heels and ankles are mangled. Bitten through your socks. Hey! No! Leave me alone! Desperate, you crawl with only your arms towards the door. Hey, I got about 100 cat friends who would just love to meet all of you. The mice descend upon you. Ugh, bitten by mice. Biting into your skin. I mean, this would be an absolute nightmare to any person. But I still don't like that thalassophobia part. Gnawing away pieces of you. You start to fade in and out of consciousness. I'm gonna have so much rabies. I'm gonna have so much of the plague. But you still reach up for the doorknob. Where's my cat god friend? Come on now, here's a buffet. Your arm heavy, weighed down by the mice clinging to it with little claws and tiny teeth. You manage to jostle the knob enough for the door to slowly swing open. Until there are more mice. Ugh. Plop. Aww. But your outstretched arm suddenly falls to the ground, lifeless. Choke on it, you little buttheads! The mice manage to chew through the flesh and bone of your now dismembered limb. Can mice chew bones? As a few mice creep forward to curiously inspect your arm, you stare blankly at it for a moment before sliding your gaze up. In the newly opened doorway sits a familiar-looking mouse. It stares at you. First I've got Cat Thulu, now do I have the mouse in yellow? The darkness in its beady black eyes. You can't begin to measure their depths. Hey! Hey, palsy. Look. Circle of life. Circle of life. Your sacrifice was not in vain. Nor the hatred pouring out from within them. Come on! All of it. Aimed at you. Listen, buddy, I once saved a feeder mouse for a few days. You know, I'm hip. I'm cool with it. Some of my best friends are mice. Ugh. Ah. You collapse, head hitting the floor, as your other arm is eaten away as well. You're not sure how you're still conscious. The pain should be indescribable, and yet you just feel a cold sense of loss. The mice have clustered along your back now, gnawing and ripping their way between your shoulder blades, into your back, into your chest. Choke on it! You weakly cough up blood. They must have damaged something important. You feel something being pulled out of you, and in between the moments that blankets of darkness fade out your vision, you hear something wet plop on the ground in front of you. You pry your eyes open and see it in front of the mouse. Place your bets. Is it my heart? Is it my still beating heart? Yeah! Weirdly shaped, red with your blood and pulsing and... Oh! That's your heart. Eat your heart out. Me? That's your heart, isn't it? I knew it. I called it. I knew it. The other mice all descend upon it, abandoning your half-eaten body. Eat it up! Eat it up! Choke on it! You're losing a lot of blood. You feel sleepy. But how am I not dead yet? You also feel... How is still beating? Anger? Yes. So much anger. I should be feeling a lot less than that. How dare they? How dare they? Am I feeling the emotions of the mouse? The last thing you see before your vision fails you is a pair of glowing eyes leering in front of the darkness beyond the doorway. Oh, looks like the day didn't go your way, little friend. You can hear squeaks and shrieks of terror all around you. Low yowls, deep snarls, gnashing teeth, tearing flesh. As your remaining senses leave you, you smile weakly with the last of your strength. When something with soft, slightly damp and sticky fur nuzzles your cheek. Aww, little baby. Good kitty. Where were you, like, 2 arms ago? Ending 27. Well fed. Oh, so was that anger the kitty going, how dare the Mouse King kill my play toy? That's my play toy human. Alright, you avenged me. I like you 0.00002% more now, kitty. What if I spare the mouse? I spare the mouse. I've spared the mouse. You don't need to avenge me. Are you sure? Are you asking me? Listen, narrator. Whose side are you on? Spare the mouse. Aw, I'll find you something else. You can hear the cat's stomach growling. Do cats' stomachs growl? Do they do that? It must be so hungry. It must be starving. Stop! No, we're not doing this. We're not feeding the mouse to the cat. We'll find something else. Hey, listen, you. Don't get snippy with me. You know the cat is hungry. Why are you hesitating? You caught prey for the cat's sake, didn't you? Are you really going to value the life of a filthy rodent more than me? I mean, the cat's? Spare the mouse. We'll find something else. You're gonna jump at me, aren't you? Aren't you? I knew you were gonna do it. It's not that bad because I knew you were gonna do it. Ha ha! You're mocking me, aren't you? Listen, Listen, you saw the other ending. You saw it. Last chance. Hand over the prey. No! Oh! I close my eyes and I still see it. Spare the mouse. Sure, have it. Sorry, buddy. No, just kidding. We're going down this route. I stand not firmly to spare the mouse. I'm not mocking you. One, I just want a different ending. And two, it's kind of messed up that you let the mouse tear off my arms and rip out my heart before you came and saved me. You let the mouse go. We'll find something else. Hey, mouse, listen, I did you a solid. Mouse. You better come help me. It scurries away, squeezing into a tiny hole in the wall. But you don't pay it much mind. Because I'm being devoured by the cat. Oh, you don't flinch as a giant clawed paw slowly falls in front of you, blocking your path to the alley's entrance. Not that you had any delusions about escaping. The cat is hungry, after all. Ah! You close your eyes in acceptance as the paw gently pulls you back. And back. And... chomp! Chompity chomp chomp nom nom. Alright, well, I guess you're not hungry. Ending 26. A life spared. Mouse, I hope you remember this ending. Huh. Well. The third option. That was previously question marks. Now says blood. She wants the blood. You want the blood, kitty. You want the blood, kitty. You want the blood. Aww. The cat lets out a sad, pleading little sound. It's hungry. It must be starving. So, you... You look around and see a nearby shard of glass. Your body moves as if it knows what to do. What needs to be done. You take the shard and... Why would you do that? What? Isn't this what I was intending? I planned on doing that. Uh-oh. Little baby? Hold on. Don't you jump at me. Don't you jump. You carefully hold your finger over the cat. Dark red blood beads at the wound. Ah! Before growing heavy enough to drip into the cat's open, waiting jaws. Aw, it mews happily at you. Aw, little baby wants the blood. Aw. You smile warmly and lower your hand into the box, stroking the cat's cheek before letting it lap gently at your bleeding finger. When the flow gets weak and the cat meows for more, you squeeze below the wound, coaxing more blood out. You feel a strange but welcome sense of comfort from the odd exchange. A being other than yourself was hungry, and you were able to provide its sustenance. A small wrong in the world made right, even if so strangely done and only temporarily. Ironically, it's at that moment that you start to feel dizzy. You didn't think you were losing that much blood. You slump against the cat's box and listen to it mewl in distress. Oh, it's like, no, my little blood bag! You think it sounds worried about you, Or at least you'd like to think so. It could just want more blood as well. The cat hops out of the box and onto your lap, nuzzling at your stomach and meowing unhappily. You wish you could ease its concerns, but it's not like you can just talk to each other. I don't know. You can't help but try to remember the last time you talked to anyone, actually. If you were to die here and now in this alley, how long would it take for someone to realize you were missing? That you were gone? Why am I dizzy? What have you done to me, kitty? Ah! Yeah! Your thoughts are interrupted when the cat yowls loudly, tensing up in your lap. You don't have time to wonder why as a voice rings out from the entryway to the alley. What? Hello? A person? Hey, you. Are you all right? You don't answer. You don't think you can. Your voice feels locked away, deep, deep within you. The cat looks up at you with a long stare, as if assessing you. It looks back towards the voice, and with a final nuzzle to your stomach. It hops out of your lap, walking towards the alley's entrance. But then, it starts to shift and what? What? Its face opens up. What? It peels back and opens again. Oh. Writhing tendrils peeking out from where you think its mouth should be. The stranger's silhouette freezes in the light beyond the alley. What the heck is... Hey, that's what I've been saying this whole game. But they don't have the chance to finish their question. Oh. The tendrils converge into one before shooting out of the cat's jaws. And piercing into the stranger's shoulder. They let out a pained cry, a fearful yell. They claw at the tendrils, trying to pull them loose, but to no avail. You can't seem to process their screams. Ooh! You stare at the creature before you. So different from the cat who mewed out of concern for you earlier. Stop the cat, or let the cat feed? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Hey, I'm getting the feeling that this is no ordinary cat. Editor, may please put in a laugh track. Please. Let the cat feed, because what am I gonna do? I'm dizzy. I'm on the ground. And if she's full, she probably won't continue to eat me. Someone, help me. Help. Cat's like, yes, call over more people. Help. Ooh. You look away as the creature devours the stranger. Ooh. Draining them until they're nothing but a husk of bone, skin, and clothes heaped on the floor. You feel awful, but what could you do? The creature is also a living thing. Shouldn't it be allowed to eat what it needs to? Is this because I gave it blood? Does it not also have a right to do what it must to survive? I mean, I guess. You ignore the voice in the back of your head that questions if there could have been another way. It's not like you tried to see if it could eat anything other than blood. Hey, but I did. Human blood. Now, did you? You trying to gaslight me? Trying to gaslight me and make me think that I didn't get eaten by rats? Or that I didn't get eaten by cat? When I tried to feed it some fish? creature purrs as it rubs its side into your arm. You realize that after a bit of rest, you've already started feeling better. You full yet? But you also think that something inside you feels a little bit broken, too. You're just not quite sure what it is yet. You stand and hold out your arms. Still hungry? Aww. The creature trills happily and hops into your outstretched arms. Uh-oh. Let's go then, yeah? Are we gonna go out and am I gonna feed the kitty to more people? Or am I gonna feed more people to the kitty? And we're just gonna be like a Bonnie and Clyde couple, but with a person and their cat? Are we going to commit atrocities together? You leave the alley together. You go out into the world together. The cat is hungry, and it will be hungry often from now on. Very often. Good kitty! Screams of fear and terror follow you both wherever you go. And without thought or care or concern for any of it, you just stand back and watch. Hey, it seems like my small decisions, kind of turn into big consequences. Ending 29. All you can eat, Blood Fae. Okay, so maybe instead of, going out into the world with my little whatever creature this is, can I stop them? Can I stop them? Can I even do anything to stop them? You can't. Alright, answers my question. Let this happen. Oh, okay. You shakily crawl forward and weakly grab at the conjoined tendrils that pulse as they drain the stranger's blood. When you tug as firmly as you're able, the tendrils pulsing halts, and the cat turns to you. Listen, baby, you can't be doing that. It makes a strange, trilling noise that sounds like a question. But you have no answer. Bad kitty, you can't keep drinking people's blood. You can't even understand the question. You simply scoop up the creature, the cat, cradling it in your arms. You gaze almost longingly at the light beyond the alley's entrance. You don't know what's going on, but you just can't sit by and watch someone else be eaten so viciously. Not when they tried to see if you were okay. Not when you could offer yourself instead. You think the stranger's set free, because after the sound of shoes hastily scuffling on the pavement fades into the distance, you feel something sharp pierce your back. It feels thin, almost like a needle. So the pain passes quickly as your body adjusts to the intrusion. Your short wasn't so thin when it skewered through the stranger's shoulder earlier. Ugh. But as you feel your blood leave your body, slowly as if being pumped out, it gets harder to think, and your vision starts to fail you. The creature in your arms makes a soft sound. You hold it as tightly and closely to you as your weak arms can manage. Ow! This is fine. Yes. This is fine. You're okay with this. You don't know if this will change anything. Surely the cat will get hungry again at some point after you're gone and no longer an option. But at least this time, you're able to save someone. Ending 28. personal care package. Aww.